What's up, folks? It's this guy, and I'm coming in today with a video where I'm going to be installing a pair of roof racks. Well, a roof rack. These were actually provided to us by an Amazon seller whose company is, or whose brand is called Kingdomus. And to kind of give you a backstory, every time we buy an SUV, we always want to buy roof racks. And historically, every time we do so, we're spending $200 to $300 to do so, and these were a fraction of that price. And I'll tell you right now, just by looking at them, they're a lot easier to install than the factory or the OEM version of them that you buy. Now, a couple things to note is that these are made for a Rav4 from 2013 all the way to 2018. They do have a 99-pound weight capacity is what it says on the site. But interestingly, that there's a sticker on these that says that the weight capacity is 165 pounds. Now, I'm not gonna go that heavy, and to be honest with you, I think the most weight I've ever put on a roof rack is about 100 pounds. And the reason is if you think about a really, really big suitcase, if you fully max that thing out with as much as you can fit into it, you'll be lucky to get it over 40 pounds. So for our family, it's more than enough capacity, especially when we use a cargo shell, to make it happen. Now, when it comes to install these bad boys, there is a specialized tool that comes with them, which is also pretty cool. It's like a key you would have for your wheel locks. You got to make sure you hang on to it though, because if you lose, you're gonna have a hard time getting these removed. But the benefit of that is that nobody's gonna jack these from you, right? They're gonna stay put. I've never had anybody steal my roof racks before, but just in case you're wondering. Besides that, they go on pretty quick. Now, there's two different sizes. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but the front rail for a Rav4 is 43 inches and the rear rail is about 40 inches. So there's a 3-inch difference, makes it nice and easy to identify which goes which. So let's go ahead and jump into the installation. Okay, so right out of the gates, the instructions that you get, they're not that good. So this video is gonna be very helpful. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect. I write instructions for a living, and there's a lot of opportunity here. So this is a fastener on each roof rack that requires that special key that I talked about. And on it, you'll see an icon for unlock and lock. Basically, align the key with it and then turn it into the unlock position. From there, you'll be able to kind of lift it up and unlatch it, just like this. From there, you're just gonna go ahead and twist it off. It's got like a screw on the other end of it, so it's gonna take a little while, but you're gonna completely unscrew it all the way. From there, the piece will lift out, and in the bottom of the bracket, or the piece that holds it in place, will come off. And it comes off in 2 pieces like this. Repeat this step on the opposite side, and when you go to install the other rail. Now, it does come with an Allen wrench, and my advice is to fully tighten the Allen wrenches on the underside of the rack, because they might be a little bit loose. It's gonna be a lot easier to tighten these all the way before you install them. Now, before we actually mount them, take a note here. This side here has an R for right. Right actually means the passenger side. So the one that says left is basically the driver's side. If you flip it over and look on the top side, you'll see an arrow that says forward. It basically says this way to the front of the car. So this is important when we go to actually place them on top of the car. So taking that into consideration, you're gonna put them on top of the car with the forward facing front, with the R on the passenger side and the L on the driver's side. The front rail will actually align about halfway through the back door. To secure the rail, you're now gonna take the piece that says R, we're on the passenger side right now, and you're gonna place it on the underside to kind of sandwich the crossbar in place. Then you're gonna place that little twisty thing back on and you're gonna thread it back in. So here is a helpful tip. You don't wanna fully tighten this. You wanna kind of tighten it a little bit where it's a little loose, and that's good enough. And a helpful tip here is not to latch it yet. You wanna get the other side done first before you come back and latch this side. It'll make a huge difference. So now we're on the driver's side. We're gonna take the piece that has an L, and it's gonna sandwich underneath the crossbar. And then we're just gonna repeat. We'll take a little twisty thing, we're gonna insert it, and then we're going to tighten it. And I'm gonna repeat myself now. When you tighten this, don't go crazy tight. And you know you've gone too tight if you go to try to close this little clasp down, and it won't close very easily. Back it off about a turn, and then go ahead and you'll push it down and lock it in place. Not too tight. Again, back it up a little bit, and then now you'll go ahead and push it down and tighten it in place. So I'm gonna pause here and explain why you don't have to go bionic tight with this thing. You want it to be snug on the roof rack, but you don't want to fully tighten it and then pry it or try to force it down into place, because it just isn't going to work. If you look at the bad Amazon reviews for this product, it's exactly what these guys did. They way over tighten it and then they try to push it down. The problem is the product's not designed for that. Using the method that I show you, they shouldn't shift around once you tighten them in place, and you shouldn't be snapping this piece off either. Okay, with that out of the way, you're going to go ahead and then use the provided key, and then you're going to twist it in place to secure the latch in the down position. Then you're going to repeat that on the opposite side. Basically going to push it down and then use the key to lock it in place. So like I mentioned before, the front rail will actually install about halfway through the back door. It's a little weird, but it actually works. Now you'll take the back rail, the one that measures 40 inches, and you're going to repeat, aligning the L with the driver's side, R with the passenger side, and the forward arrow facing front. So now we're just going to basically repeat the steps. You're going to sandwich the piece underneath, you're going to install the part with the screw on it, and then you're going to hand tighten it, just a little bit snug. And like before, you're not going to push the latch in a down position until after you've installed the other side. Over on the driver's side now, again, we're basically repeating the steps. You're going to take the piece, throw it on in there, and you're going to thread it in place. And again, we're not going to go crazy tight. I mean, here's the thing, if you go to push it down and it does not want to close, you don't want to break it. You can just back it off a turn, just like this, and then latch it in place. Now you can use the key to go ahead and secure the latch in the down position. Now you'll circle back to the passenger side, you'll close the latch, and then you'll lock it. That's pretty much it. The roof rack is now installed. Now one thing I want to call out, you see this little raised thing right here? It's actually pretty clever. It actually prevents this thing from making a lot of road noise. Now you can sit back and admire your work. Okay, so the installation wasn't too difficult. Just make sure you pay attention to some of the tips that I went through when I was doing the install. And the reason I need crossbars is because I actually plan to install a cargo shell on top, which we bought a long time ago, and it goes with us every time that we do a road trip. We absolutely love it. So here's what it looks like. So I will say that initially I was really concerned with how close the crossbars were to one another, but it turns out that there's a lot of different spaces on this cargo shell that it actually still works out just fine. The other thing I thought of is that if I mounted it too far forward, it would actually cover my moonroof, which I'm sure people don't want to do. So hopefully this video has been helpful. If you did enjoy it, or if you found it to be useful, please make sure that you subscribe, leave a like, or if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below.